Sometimes, life puts people in extreme situations: plane crashes, freezing cold, war zones, or deep oceans. These are not stories from movies. They are real. In this video, you'll hear 10 inspiring facts about people who survived the impossible. Their courage and strength will amaze you, and maybe even prepare you for your own challenges. Fact 1. Survived a plane crash and walked out of the jungle. Julianne Koepke was only 17 when her plane broke apart in the sky over the Amazon rainforest. She fell more than 3,000 meters, still strapped to her seat, and landed in the jungle. Somehow, she survived the fall. Injured and alone, she used her knowledge of nature to stay alive. For 11 days, she walked through thick forest, followed streams, and avoided wild animals. Finally, she found help and was rescued. Her story shows how calm thinking and survival skills can save your life, even in the middle of nowhere. Fact 2. Freed himself after being trapped by a boulder. Aaron Ralston was hiking alone in a canyon in Utah when a giant rock fell and trapped his arm. He was stuck for 5 days, with no way to call for help. Out of food and water, he made a brave decision. Using a small knife, he cut off his own arm to escape. Then he climbed out of the canyon and walked until he found other people. His story became famous around the world. It shows how strong the human mind can be when survival is the only option. Fact 3. Came back to life after being frozen under ice. Anna Bagganen was skiing in Norway when she fell into a frozen stream and got trapped under ice. She was stuck for 80 minutes in freezing water. Her body temperature dropped to just 13.7 degrees Celsius, far below normal. Doctors thought she was dead, but they didn't give up. They slowly warmed her body and restarted her heart. Amazingly, she survived with no serious brain damage. Her story is one of the most extreme cases of survival from cold ever recorded. Fact 4. Survived in an air pocket inside a sunken ship. In 2013, Harrison Okene was working as a cook on a ship off the coast of Nigeria. The ship sank, and everyone else died. But Harrison found a small air pocket inside the wreck and stayed alive underwater for almost 3 days. In total darkness, surrounded by cold water, he prayed and waited. When rescue divers finally found him, they were shocked to see he was still breathing. His story is a reminder that hope can survive, even deep under the sea. Fact 5. Survived alone in the desert by staying smart. Mauro Prosperi was running a race across the Sahara Desert when a sandstorm blew him off course. He got lost and ended up alone in one of the hottest places on Earth. With no food or water, he found shelter in an old building. He drank his own urine and ate bats to stay alive. After 9 days, he was rescued by a nomadic family. His story shows how thinking clearly and using your surroundings can help you survive, even in the desert. Fact 6. Returned from death after being left behind on a mountain. Joe Simpson was climbing in the Andes Mountains when he fell and broke his leg. His climbing partner tried to help, but eventually had to leave him, thinking Joe was dead. But Joe didn't give up. He crawled for 3 days across ice and rocks, in terrible pain and without food. He finally reached the camp just before his partner left. His story became a book and a movie called Touching the Void. It shows that even when everyone else gives up, you can still fight to survive. Fact 7. Survived a fall from over 10,000 meters. Vesna Volovic was a flight attendant from Yugoslavia. In 1972, her plane exploded in mid-air because of a bomb. She fell more than 10,000 meters, over 33,000 feet, and landed on a snowy hill inside part of the wreckage. She was badly hurt but alive. Doctors said she survived because of how the wreckage landed and the cold weather. Her story is the world record for surviving the highest fall without a parachute. Fact 8. Survived earthquake. Rubble. Through teamwork. In 2010, a group of people were trapped under rubble after a huge earthquake in Haiti. They had little space to move and no light. But they worked together to stay alive. They shared water, kept each other awake, and used cell phones to send messages. After several days, rescuers found them. Their survival wasn't just about strength, it was about teamwork and hope. When people support each other, they can survive even the worst disasters. Fact 9. Survived alone at sea for over 2 months. Salvador Alvarenga was a fisherman from El Salvador. One day, a storm hit his boat and he was lost at sea. He drifted across the Pacific Ocean for 438 days, more than a year. He survived by catching fish and birds, collecting rainwater, and staying mentally strong. Finally, he reached a remote island and was rescued. His story is one of the longest solo survival journeys at sea ever recorded. It shows how humans can adapt and survive, even when completely alone. Fact 10. Escaped war and rebuilt life from nothing. Mulu was a young woman from Eritrea, a country torn by war. She escaped violence and walked for weeks across dangerous land to reach safety. She carried her baby, avoided soldiers, and crossed borders. Eventually, she reached a refugee camp and later moved to Europe. There, she learned a new language, found work, and built a new life. Her story is about strength, love, and the will to protect her family no matter what. These 10 facts show us something powerful. Survival is not just about luck. It's about courage, smart choices, and never giving up. Whether in the jungle, the ocean, or a war zone, these people face the impossible and live to tell the tale. Their stories inspire us to be strong, stay hopeful, and believe in the power of the human spirit.